Grenada in 2021 was at 1.5% installed capacity for renewable energy. A major motivating factor now for Grenada and the region for increased investments or speed up the transition to renewable energy is global fuel prices. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is seeking to aid in addressing the issue of reaching net zero targets by tripling the capacity for renewable energy for OECS countries, including Grenada, within the next 5 years. ECCB Governor Timothy Antoine notes that part of the initiative is establishing a renewable energy infrastructure investment facility.
And so that facility that I mentioned is intended to help sort out any of the policy and regulatory gaps, standards and others, and then financing. Because we could do all of the regulatory and policy work if we don't have financing to actually do investments in renewables. Renewables are not cheap. The prices have come down. Of course, now with the supply chain disruption, some prices have gone up. But prices have trended downward over the years. But you have to have the requisite financing to be able to actually make the investment.
Governor Antoine adds that they are seeking to mobilize resources on behalf of member countries by building on commitments made by the United States to the region in terms of renewables.
So there are some initiatives on the way, because the frustrating thing about it is that we have heard of climate funds and the availability of grants and soft resources, but we are not accessing those resources. The Caribbean is not accessing those resources. We've heard of green bonds, but when you look at green bonds are not being issued in the Caribbean. Mexico, Brazil, maybe Argentina. So that's Latin America, not in the Caribbean. We have to change that. So there is a big effort on the way to try to mobilize resources. Because let's face it, not even the multilateral development banks by themselves can meet the funding challenge, the infrastructure deficit that needs to be filled.
The ECCB governor explains that the major setback for ECCU governments currently is having to deal with the immediate issue of inflation, which is limiting the progress in renewable energy. Renewable energy accounts for 10% of installed capacity in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.